I've been the fly on the wall for more than 2 decades of sectional title disputes. I've got the data, the rules, and the real-world solutions. You're watching at Scheme Savvy, sectional title simplified. Imagine losing your home, your belongings, and your life savings, all because your neighbor stored a couple of jerry cans of petrol in their garage. In a South African townhouse or apartment complex, fire safety is not just about common sense. It is a strict legal requirement. Under the Sectional Title Schemes Management Act, specifically prescribed Conduct Rule 6, storing dangerous, explosive, or highly flammable materials without permission is a massive statutory breach. But out there in the real world, hundreds of estates are sitting on an absolute ticking time bomb between alternative energy conversions, gas setups, and bad neighborly habits. Many residents are making mistakes that could entirely void their complex's insurance. Let's look at the absolute worst-case financial outcome. In the landmark High Court case of Heathrow Property Holdings versus Manhattan Place, a devastating fire gutted a commercial section. The structural insurance provider completely walked away and rejected the multi-million rand claim because the owner had repeatedly ignored the trustees and failed to provide valid compliance certificates. The court ruled that the owner had to bear the catastrophic financial loss alone. The law is clear. If an uncertified DIY battery system or an illegal gas cylinder causes a blaze, you won't just lose your home. You could face absolute personal bankruptcy. When you live in an individual freestanding house, a fire is your personal tragedy. But in a high-density complex, a fire is a shared catastrophe. Sections are physically joined together by shared walls, concrete slabs, and connected roof structures. If a unit catches fire, the smoke drift, toxic fumes, and intense heat travel exponentially fast, trapping residents on the upper floors. Since most of us are not electrical engineers, managing these modern energy and gas upgrades requires a strict roadmap to keep both sides legally airtight. Let's look at the critical do's inside your estate. First, you must get written trustee consent before storing any abnormal gas or chemical materials in your section. Standard kitchen gas bottles for cooking are generally fine, but larger backup arrays require official documented permission that complies with SANS 10087 safety standards. Second, when installing an inverter or battery pack, stick strictly to lithium iron phosphate technology, commonly known as LiFePO4, because it is highly stable, non-explosive, and designed safely for indoor residential use. Ensure the contractor is registered with the Department of Employment and Labor. Demand a formal Certificate of Compliance, or COC, and hand a copy over to the trustees immediately. Third, trustees must conduct annual checks on the scheme's firefighting equipment. Fire hydrants, extinguishers, and hose reels must be serviced and officially stamped every 12 months. And fourth, keep your exclusive use balconies and hallways completely clear. Hallways are common property, and leaving items there isn't just a rule breach. It blocks emergency escape routes when a building goes dark. Now, let's look at the absolute don'ts that can land you in deep legal trouble. First, never store loose petrol, diesel, or gas cylinders inside your garage or section. Jerry cans of fuel to keep an unmounted generator running are a direct violation of Rule 6. Second, do not install DIY, cheap backup batteries off internet marketplaces without an electrician's oversight. A thermal runaway in a low-quality lithium pack creates a chemical fire that concrete structures cannot easily contain. Third, never assume the caretaker or a trustee can give you a casual verbal okay to store hazardous substances or make alterations to the common property. The law requires prior written consent from the trustee committee, formally recorded in the meeting minutes. If any equipment like solar panels or external battery enclosures touches common walls or structures, it triggers Section 13 of the Act, requiring formal, documented authorization. And fourth, do not let tenants or visitors operate dangerous open flame equipment on narrow balconies where embers can drift into neighboring units. The baseline law exists to protect the community, but a savvy estate knows how to manage its risks actively. Trustees, protect your complex by implementing a clear, uniform alternative energy policy today. Owners, Keep your units compliant, your papers signed, and your fuel out of the garages. What is the craziest or most dangerous fire hazard you have ever spotted inside your complex? Drop your townhouse horror stories in the comments below. Protect your property value, stay compliant, and subscribe to Scheme Savvy. Because next week, we are moving from the threats to your property straight into the threats to your sanity as we unpack Prescribed Conduct Rule 7, the definitive legal playbook on the behavior of occupiers and visitors. See you there.